Welcome to the Health by Haven podcast. I'm your host, Haven Quinlan. If you're a multi-passionate wellness enthusiast, then you're in the right place. I'm obsessed with learning as much as I can about the wellness world, and I want to share that with you. Each episode will dive into various aspects of health and wellness through inspiring and informative guest interviews with some solo episodes thrown in. Tune in for all things health, and let's have some fun, shall we? This week on the Health by Haven podcast, I sit down with friend and fellow Pure Barre instructor, Ava Bodeau. In the episode, we talk all about Ava's upbringing in the world of dance, including her time as a professional dancer in New York City. We discuss her career-ending injury and how she found Pure Barre. She shares all about how she began teaching and then managing Pure Barre studios in California, and we get the behind-the-scenes look into her role as an XPLUS fitness instructor. If you want to get inspired to move your body, or if you're a current or aspiring fitness instructor, then this episode is for you. Please enjoy my conversation with Ava. Ava, thank you so much for joining us on the Health by Haven podcast today. I am so thrilled to chat all things dance, New York City, Pure Barre, XPLUS, all the good stuff. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. I'm super excited to chat about all the things.
So for people who are listening, Ava and I met in Knoxville, Tennessee through Pure Barre. We're both instructors there, but I feel like we've had a lot of connections in what our upbringing maybe was like growing up in the world of dance. And so I kind of want to go way back and start there first. Tell us what young Ava was like. When did you start dancing?
Oh my goodness. So young Ava was very shy, timid, and just kind of fearful of things. But the main reason my parents put me in dance, I was 3. I would constantly walk into walls. I'd just be walking straight down a hall and then would just randomly hit a wall. And it's like, okay, put that wall there. And so they put me in gymnastics for a few months, but I was terrified of the trampoline. I wouldn't even jump. I would probably just scooch a little bit from what they told me, or just do a little mini hop when they told us to do a jump on the trampoline. I did not trust it. So they're like, okay, this girl needs coordination of some sort. And so they put me in ballet, and I never wanted to take my tights or leotard off. I always wanted to be there. And yeah, that was kind of the start of it at a young age, and just fell in love with the structure, but also just the artisticness of it. And also I met some of my bestest friends who are still good friends of mine from even when we were 3 to where we are today. So it's been really neat.
Oh, that's so special to have those lifelong friendships. And yes. I do love how you brought up the structure and the creativity and art side of dance. I do feel like it's a really good, kind of left brain, right brain meet in the middle almost, So that's a cool way to think of it, actually, is the structure plus the art form.
Yes. And that's how I live today. I need structure, the amount of lists that I have and tasks. And if I don't complete something on my list or task of the day, the day is not ending until that is done. And I feel like that kind of plays into if someone's ever done ballet or any type of structured type of group fitness or even sports, that structure, it stays with you until your adult life. And maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, but I see it as a good thing, especially in my career and my workplace, just keeping things on task.
Yeah, it depends on the day, right?
Absolutely. Every day is a new day, for sure.
Okay, so you started in ballet when you were 3, and then did you do other forms of dance growing up as well?
I dabbled in jazz and I tried tap. I was not a tapper at all.
You and me
And
both.
so I don't know what it was. It was just the coordination of I don't know. I could not do it. And so I just stuck with ballet. And then when I was in high school, I was on our school's dance team and we would do hip hop. And that was kind of like my first intro into other styles of contemporary, modern hip hop. And I really fell in love with that. And I'm really grateful that I got to experience those other types of formats of dance. Otherwise, I probably would have gone crazy just doing ballet constantly.
Oh yeah,
Even
because
though that was like my first love was and is ballet. Um, but yeah, I kind of played around in high school with modern, contemporary. I really liked that because I was able to kind of express a little bit more. There was a lot going on in my personal life and my family life during my teenage years. And so having that kind of emotional aspect of performing was a huge therapeutic moment for me growing up.
and I love like looking back on that and at what you're saying about the emotional release and the way to express yourself, and then like looking to where you are now and where people feel with fitness as being like a great outlet, not just physically, but like mentally as well, that connection there.
Oh, absolutely. Like even this past weekend, I was having a moment and even just going on a walk or the treadmill, it was just 15 minutes. That's all I did. And I felt so much better. It's just like a release of endorphins. And that's something that my body specifically really craves. So
Mhm.
anytime I'm feeling kind of like stuck or icky emotionally, internally, movement is what really helps me get through. So it's something I rely on daily.
Absolutely. So, talk to us a little bit about dancing in New York. Bridge the gap for people who don't know
Yeah.
you.
It almost feels like a whole nother lifetime, a whole nother body, a whole nother person. Like, who was that? We
Yeah.
don't know. But when I was maybe 12, 13, that's kind of the age, like maybe 11, 12, 13, when most of us in the studio I was at would start going on auditions for summer intensives. And in those summer intensives, you're auditioning for big name ballet companies, and you kind of get a good glimpse of how that company works, kind of getting to meet other girls from around the country or maybe from around the world. And if you make it through the audition, you have the choice of committing to specific amount of weeks in that company, and you're just dancing from sun up, sundown, all different types of dance too. I mean, primarily it was ballet, but there were moments where you got to take a jazz class or a modern class, and you'd have these world renowned choreographers and even dancers come in and teach. And so it was a really fun experience. And so I did that with the Joffrey Ballet in their New York City program, because they have different programs that they'll do around the country. I think there's some in Texas. There's obviously Chicago, and then there's New York City. And so I did New York City. And so the first one I did, I was 13,
Wild.
and crazy to
Yeah.
think that my mom allowed her 13-year-old daughter to go to New York, cross the country, and uh, live there for, I think I did 8 weeks out there. But my dad had dropped me off, and the first day, just kind of walked me through the entire city. He's like, you're going to learn the city by foot. And then the next day, we did it by subway. And
Mhm.
that stuck with me because it's pretty easy to follow. It's a grid.
Yeah.
But at a young age, you're like, what?
You've never had to navigate anywhere. Like your parents just drive you around.
No, no. And this was like so early on. Like I had a flip phone, and the only people I could call were my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And so I don't think texting was a big thing at all either. And so, yeah, that's when I kind of started dabbling into kind of more a professional aspect at that age. And then once my senior year of high school came around, I was the sugar plum in the Nutcracker. And my mom had sent a video to the Joffrey Ballet of my sugar plum performance. And I was mortified. I was like, Mom, why would you do that? It's like, I just want to show them all of your progress, all your growth, and just thank them for all that they provided for me in my teenage years and my growth and my dancing. And they responded back with a position. And so right after high school, I moved to New York and lived that life. It was a dream come true, but looking back, I absolutely took it for granted. I mean, I was newly 18 and living on my own in a huge city, dancing every single day. And you get it when you're in those moments, it's tough. It's a lot physically, mentally, and emotionally. And you get kind of stuck in that where you're not kind of seeing the outside, like gratitude of it all. And so looking back, I wish I could tell my younger self to just soak it more in. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Not everyone can move to New York right after high school and kind of live something they've been dreaming of their whole life. So that's kind of my dance story and how I got there. And sadly, I had an injury. And so, as we all do in sports, when you're really competitive, when you're at a certain level, you don't stop. Mm-hmm. You don't listen to your body. So I just kept dancing through some pain I was feeling in my foot. It started off as a really bad bruise at the bottom of the ball of my foot. And that bruising turned into my bones deteriorating. Mm-hmm. And so during one of the breaks, I went home and saw a doctor. He recommended surgery, and that was something really hard to come to terms with. And the doctor had to be very blunt and real with me. And because I was very adamant that I was not having surgery, that this was something that could heal on its own.
Yeah.
But he was like, you're basically coming to me, banging your head up against the door saying, doctor, like, why am I hurting? Why am I in pain? He's like, this is what you're doing to your body right now. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so we decided that surgery was the best route because there wasn't going to be any other solution. So I had my bones removed at the bottom of my foot and my tendons grew in place. And I was going to go back, but I ended up meeting my now husband. So that kind of took a spin in my dance career and just kind of making that choice that, okay, this was something I got to experience, something that I dreamt of doing since I was a little girl. I'm super grateful I was able to experience that and live it. And now it was time to open up the next chapter because dance, I knew, is a limited lifestyle as far as your career. So
yeah. Well, thank you for sharing all of that so candidly. I'm sure there are people listening, they may have not been on a professional level, but like that can relate to having a career ending injury, whether that career was, middle school or high school or college sports, or whether it was like at a professional level, and how like you probably are going through a grieving process of like your identity is being kind of lost.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, it doesn't matter like what age you stop doing something that you've spent so much time on, whether it's in sports, whether it's in schooling, you almost identify yourself as that thing. And so when people would ask me like, oh, who's Ava? I'm like, oh, Ava's a dancer, Or if I were to ask someone else, like, who are you? Like, oh, I'm a soccer player. Oh, I'm a football player. And so trying to figure out who I was outside of that, it's still a work in progress, but because it was, gosh, about 18 years of my life. And so when you spend that much time focusing on one thing and identifying as that, you come out of it unexpectedly and you're like, okay, who am I? Who is Ava? Who is Ava outside of ballet? Like, she's not just a dancer. And so there is that emotional attachment and grief that you have to work through. And if I could tell anyone else, you're not alone in what you're feeling. And it's absolutely valid because it feels like a part of you is just being stripped away. And so that's when you get to be really honest with yourself mentally and like, okay, what healthy aspects can I take for myself to take what I've learned in that time period, in that season, and bring it into the next.
And bridging that gap then, did you find Pure Barre right away after you got through that surgery, or was there some time between? Walk us through what that kind of next step looked like for you.
Yeah, it was maybe about a year and a half in between that. When I found Pure Barre, one of my dance coaches in high school, she taught Pure Barre. And so she invited me to take her class. And right out the gate, I was like, I got this. Like, I was a dancer. This isn't going to be an issue at all.
Yeah.
Very much humbled less than 2 minutes into the class. I was like, this is a whole nother level. Like, what is going on in here? I was not prepared. It was about almost maybe a year and a half to 2 years after surgery I found her, because I was really craving the same muscle groups being utilized in that low impact, which I needed with my foot, but still giving me that high intensity. And Pure Barre does that and more.
Absolutely. It still humbles me to this day, 6+ years later.
To this day, yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be celebrating this weekend 10 years of teaching.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. But I still shake in class. I hide it very well. But if you ever take my classes online, which we'll get into with XPLUS for Pure Barre, I'm shaking like crazy in those classes.
I believe
but, we smile through the pain.
Absolutely. Making you stronger, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so you went and took this class. You were like, oh my gosh, this was actually a really hard workout, but you kind of found that group fitness setting again. When did you decide I want to teach it?
Immediately after. I was like, this is fun. I can make this a job.
Yeah.
And so my old dance coach that I took the class from, she was like, my friend, she's going to be opening up a studio kind of near you, so hold tight. Those auditions are going to be in the next few months. And so I took like maybe a few classes before auditioning. Definitely needed to take more. There's a photo out there, it's infamous, of the audition. And if you've ever taken Pure Barre before, people that are listening, there's a position that we call a chair, where you're pulling off the bar and basically what we call our seat, your glute and your knees are in line with each other. I was basically almost standing, but thinking I was actually in the position. You can find it on my social media somewhere, but yes, that was another humbling experience. I was like, oh, I am not what I thought I was compared to everyone else's audition. Somehow I got the job, but
amazing.
It's still, So right after that audition, it was maybe now almost a little bit over 2 years from stopping dance from the injury, and going through the teaching process with Pure Barre.
Okay. And what was the first studio that you taught at?
It's called Pure Barre Tustin. So I'm still part of the studio. We opened in 2015, July 2015. I went to training February 2015 in Denver. That's when one of their corporate training centers was in Denver at the time, and probably one of the hardest trainings I've ever been to. One, it's just jam-packed with information overload. It's like learning a whole new language in 4 days, and add on the altitude into all that too.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I couldn't even figure out how to get past the first 30 seconds of memorizing my class or even teaching it. All of it just terrified me. So it's remarkable I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. So walk us through your journey a little bit, because 10 years, like, you've done a lot and taught at a lot of different studios. And so for people who are listening who've taken Pure Barre, like, they'll be like, oh yeah, all these class formats. For those who haven't taken, there are like different formats you gotten trained in, and then like talk about like all the different studios and your ebbs and flows of barre.
Yeah. So I started off with Pure Barre Tustin, and Pure Barre has definitely evolved throughout the years in the best way as far as what is offered and along with the training aspect too. And so Pure Barre Classic, that's our, I like to say, bread and butter. That's what it started in and what every new teacher starts in as well. So basically taught with Tustin, I mean, until this day when I come back into California. But I've subbed at areas in Orange County and just kind of ventured all through the Southern California, Orange County area as far as subbing and teaching. But my home base has always been that Tustin studio.
Amazing. I love that. After like 10 years, that's so fun. I love when I go back to South Carolina and I get to pop in and teach at the studio that I got trained at. It's very special. You have like a extra little connection.
You do. You have a connection. It's like a piece of you, and such a huge growing experience too, because I was newly 21 when I started teaching. And yeah, I'm just a whole nother person now. And even in my teaching, like, they called me the baby of the group because I was the youngest one. And very, again, shy and timid, like I said, how I was when I was very young. I mean, it's really cool to look back at those years because I did grow up with a speech impediment. And so the thought of even speaking out loud in group settings or individual settings was terrifying. And so I think that's why I loved ballet, because we didn't have to talk.
Yeah.
I just expressed with movement. Like, God forbid I spoke words out of my mouth during those years. And so it is really cool to kind of see the progression of confidence and me finding a voice in myself throughout the teaching experience. And that's kind of been the growth. Anytime I've learned a new format with Pure Barre, is it really challenges you to step out of your shell, out of your comfort zone. You learn so much more, you grow so much more. And that's within any type of job or any type of fitness realm. Is anytime you learn something new within your art form, there's going to be growth mentally, emotionally. And it's really fun to look back to see photos and really remember like those moments. And like, man, I'm a whole nother teacher now, which is really cool, more comfortable. I'm happy to like make people laugh in class or get some smiles, because people come in very serious into classes, and it's exercise. We want it to be fun. We want it to be exciting. It's your moment away from anything else. So let's have fun together and not worry about what's coming next, not worry about what's going on outside of those walls. Like, let's be present together.
I could not agree more. Absolutely. I'm sure there are people listening. I'm thinking back to like my younger self when I was just dying to become a Pure Barre instructor after I found Pure Barre in grad school. Like literally I found my journal when I was going through my room of like my New Year's like goals, and I had like 1 year and 3 year and 5 year goals, and I was like, oh, my 5 year goal is like I'll get to teach Pure Barre, which like lucky that I'm like, wow, like that actually went way faster than,
Yeah.
I had thought at the time when I would just taken a few classes, but I know I would have like eaten up hearing from instructors and learning about their journey and hearing some advice. So if there's people listening, whether it's Pure Barre or another modality, this sounds like a massive commercial for Pure Barre. It's not sponsored, but
That's
like
my life.
whether, yeah.
Walking advertisement right here.
But whatever fitness modality they might be interested in, they're like, I really want to like teach this. What would be some advice or like words of encouragement that you would give them?
Just do it. Honestly. You're always going to find reasons why not to. And where's the growth in that? Get out of your comfort zone. You love something, make it more, but don't fall out of love with it. And so just find that balance, because 10 years goes by. I've gone through different seasons in falling in and out of love with Pure Barre, because it is my full-time job. It is my livelihood, but it's also my source of release. And
Mm-hmm.
so you have to find those healthy balances for you if you're going to make it a career, but still want to be in love with it. So never forget that why of how you're feeling right out the gate, like how you said in your journal. Even like remembering that, you're like, whoa, I
Yeah.
made a goal, I set it, I fell in love with it for a reason. Let me make that same reason for someone else. And so that's
Mm.
kind of how I go about now. My teaching is, I fell in love with this for a reason. I want, if at least one person in the room, to fall even more in love than how I was with it. If either that guides them to be a teacher in Pure Barre or even something outside of Pure Barre, just giving them that encouragement of, you can, because you can.
Chills. Yes. I love it. Okay, I want to shift to X Plus. Tell us how that came to be. And for people who are listening who are like, what is that? I guess give us some background as well.
Yeah, so Pure Barre is under the umbrella of a company called Exponential Fitness. There's a bunch of different fitness brands under their umbrella. And so they have a online streaming service where you can take classes on demand in Pure Barre or any other fitness company that's under the umbrella. And so I teach Pure Barre on the streaming service on XPLUS. And that came about. So a few years ago, when I lived in Orange County, they would allow teachers to come in and take the class live with the instructor.
Oh, cool.
That
I didn't
way there's,
realize.
yeah, that way there was some people in the room. And so that's kind of how I started. I'd be there like every week because one, I was teaching so much. At that time, I was the lead teacher of our Tustin studio. And so I was teaching majority of all the classes. And so how I said, you go through those different seasons with Pure Barre or with anything where you're just like so ingrained in it and doing so much. That was kind of my outlet to be able to take from another teacher that wasn't part of my studio and be
Mm-hmm.
able to actually be a student. And so
Yeah.
that's why I fell in love with going to those classes. Was I was able to actually be present and not think about like what came next in the choreography. I was able to just work out and be a student. So that's when I started kind of meeting the team of XPLUS, the production crew, and I kind of shifted where my husband got a job in Tennessee. And so I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's when I met Miss Haven. And I'm still connected with our studios in Orange County, with managing our studios out there. And so they were doing an audition for teachers that are within the Orange County area. And so they reached out to me. I went to the audition, did not think I would get it because I was severely sick. I did not have, I lost my voice the day before. I was like, okay, this can sound really good or really bad. And so did the audition, and they responded back and got the job. And so now anytime I'm in the area working with our studios out here, I'm also getting myself prepped for teaching classes online for Pure Barre with XPLUS. And it's really fun. It's such a great experience. I feel so blessed that it's something that I'm able to do. And it's very tough, very challenging mentally and physically because we do film multiple classes in one day. And so I'm learning different choreography, different classes, and I'm taking the class full out. Every now and then I'll come out of something and show modification and give myself like a little tiny break. But yeah, it's really cool. I'm really grateful that I can be part of it.
Yeah, so fun. I love following along on your Instagram. I feel like you've got a whole glam squad and everything. So, what does a filming day look like for you?
So, filming day, we get there about an hour, 45 minutes before our actual class call time start. And that's when our awesome hair and makeup artist, Susan, will just kind of glam us up, do any touch-ups. She likes to have fun with our hair, with different styles. It's a true art what she does. And so it's always fun getting in the chair and just kind of getting the nerves out, just talking to her. She really makes you comfortable. And yeah, so we'll just glam. And then once I'm prepped and ready with my mic set on, they'll do camera blocking of my classes, just checking my height. And that's when I'll kind of go over with them some positions that I might do that require different camera angles. And so I'll just clarify with the crew with some of my movement. And from there, they just test my playlist and we do a mic check and it's go time.
So fun. Okay, so how long, like how many classes, how long are you filming in the day? Because I know back to back, like sounds exhausting, like you said, mentally and physically.
Yes. So typically it's 3 classes in one day, but there has been moments where my record breaking one was 9 classes in one day.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
Wrecked me. So we've brought it back down. And so we follow a 45-minute classic class, and then I'll go into a 30-minute Empower class and then do a 30-minute classic class. In between all that, I'm changing attire, resetting my mic, kind of going through my choreography notes, making sure it's back in the brain, and then back on.
Oh my goodness. So, no rest.
Yeah. No rest. If you get such a adrenaline rush, though, when you're in those moments that it doesn't really hit you until later that day when you're like sitting down and you're like, oh, I can't feel my legs.
I was going
It's
to say
fun.
maybe the next morning when you get out of bed and you almost fall over.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what's your favorite class format?
It varies. It depends on the day, the week. Um, I love classic, honestly. It's just truly what Pure Barre is, but I also love Define.
Mhm.
Um, Define for the strength factor with the resistance, the heavy weights. I feel so powerful in that class. And
Mhm.
also something my body has been craving for a while is that extra resistance.
Mhm.
And something I do want to encourage people that if they are in Pure Barre or um, are doing kind of low impact stuff, add heaviness, right?
Mhm.
People have this preconceived notion that you're going to get bulky if you work with heavy weights. That's not going to happen. And
Mhm.
plus, in Pure Barre, the highest level of weight we're carrying is a 20 pounds. So, and we're not holding it for that long compared to things that we would hold in a classic class. So, um, I love Define for that aspect. And then some weeks I love Empower because I want that extra cardio push.
Mhm.
Something we absolutely need as we get older too is that cardiovascular health and energy. And we get our heart rate up in the other classes, but adding that extra level in Empower is highly needed and recommended. And I feel like there's a little fear factor when people hear like a cardio class or see like this step or platform that we use in the
Mhm.
class. And it's not scary. You don't need to use it.
Yeah.
It's optional. And that's the beauty of Pure Barre. It's all things that we do. There's modifications, there's options for everything. But those three are my absolute favorite. And I don't have a favorite. There's no favorite child.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the line is nice for those weeks. Like when I come back from teaching a bunch of XPLUS classes is
Mhm.
sprinkling in a line because I need that extra length in my muscles and stretch, but still keeping the strength that I've built, but adding more um, time to release, you know? I don't have a favorite child.
Yeah. I get that. I get
I
that
love it
though.
all. I
That's a
love it
good
all. I
thing.
truly love it all.
And it's good to have variety in the week as well. Like
Yeah.
Empower used to be my favorite. I'd be like, oh, Empower, hands down. Like I'm a cardio junkie. I love Empower and I still love it. Don't get me wrong. But there definitely now I go through phases with like, oh, I'm really loving
Mhm.
classic lately or oh, I'm really loving Define. So I think it's a
Yeah.
good thing to have the mixture.
Absolutely. And that's what's so cool about the company itself and is just those different options that whatever you're feeling that week, we have a class for it. Whatever your fitness goal or need is during this season in your life, we've got a class for it. So it's just kind of meeting you where you're at, which is really cool to see others kind of experience that too.
Absolutely. So for people who are listening who have never tried Pure Barre, how would you encourage them?
Don't be scared. It's fun, I promise. It's going to be challenging. And that's kind of what I tell every first time client in a class is it's going to be challenging. You're going to be asked to do things that you never knew your body could do,
Mhm.
but there's so much strength and growth in a short amount of time. And you get to see those small wins right away, even within your first month. Like you'll be able to hold a position longer, or you'll notice that you're able to level up in different weight selections in different classes, or you are feeling more confident in what you're doing and your movement. So, biggest thing is not being afraid to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone, because that's when the true growth happens, emotionally, mentally, and that physical aspect too. And you want to be challenged in your workouts. So the biggest progress is just stepping in the door. And the rest is just going to come to fruition throughout the first month. So if you just step foot in the studio, the hardest thing is done,
Of course. I think you have everybody fired up now. I'm like, okay, can I go take a class right now? It's too late for me.
Yes, let's go.
All right, Ava, I want to send us off with some wellnessy rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, shoot away.
Okay. Morning or evening workout?
Ooh, morning.
Running or walking?
Walking.
Lifting or body weight?
Ooh, okay, body weight.
Juice or smoothie?
Smoothie.
Coffee or matcha?
Coffee all day, every day.
Salad or bowl?
Bowl. I love me some grains.
Mm-hmm. Pizza or pasta?
Oh, okay. Yikes. Pasta.
My answer changes every time I ask somebody. I'm like, which would I pick? I don't know.
Well, okay, so I started on a sourdough journey, and making my own pizza with my sourdough discard is like chef's kiss, my favorite thing to do right now. But overall, in my lifetime, pasta all the way.
Agreed. But oh man, I love a sourdough crust, and we should have talked about the sourdough. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. We have many lives over here.
Yeah. Tacos or quesadilla?
Tacos.
An early riser or night owl?
Night owl. Oh my goodness. Text me at like 12, 1 in the morning. I most likely will be up.
We are opposite there.
It's not good. We're working on it. It's all the coffee. It's fine.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
Well, Ava, I had so much fun getting this excuse to chat with you. For people who are listening, where can they follow along with you online? Where can they take your classes, either in person or online?
Okay, I'm all over the globe, so well, not really, but you can find me on Instagram, Ava_Flava. And if you want to work out with me online, you can go onto the XPLUS website, and you can get a membership to be a Pure Barre participant. It's not that expensive. I want to say it's under $10 a month, with access to Pure Barre classes. So you can find me there. In studio, I go back and forth. If you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, or ever find yourself in the area, you can find me primarily at Farragut. And if you're in Orange County, you can find me at Pure Barre Tustin and Rancho Santa Margarita. So just kind of depends on where I'm at in the States. So yeah, that's where you can find me teaching all things Pure Barre.
Oh, so fun. Well, Ava, thank you so much for your time today. I know you had a long travel day, so it was so fun getting to chat with you.
So good chatting with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Health by Haven podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give the show a 5-star rating and leave a review. It makes such a huge difference in reaching new people and spreading the joy of healthy living. I would also be so appreciative if you subscribe to the show in the listening app of your choice so you never miss an episode. Your support truly means the world to me. Have a happy, healthy day, and I'll talk to you again soon.